They tell you the past never dies. But perhaps that's not the idea. Perhaps it just changes, takes on a different shape so that it no longer haunts but instructs. So let us begin here. Never be a slave to your past. It was only a test. Plain words, yes. But take them with you for a time, truly take them with you, and you will begin to understand how burdensome the unseen shackles can be that we bear with us day in and day out. Guilt chains, regrets, what ifs, poor choices, lost opportunities, people we lost, plans that went bust, stuff we did, stuff we didn't do, some of it our fault, some of it not, but all of it rent-free in our heads unless we choose to kick it out. We're so excellent at reliving agony like some bad tragedy on repeat. The same mental film over and over again. We tell ourselves, I should have known better, or I'll never forgive myself, or why did it have to happen to me? But here's the truth: the past is a narrative, not a verdict. It's not your life sentence. It's not your cell. It's a sentence in a very, very long book, one that you're still writing. Now I know what you're thinking. This isn't about pretending it didn't occur. It's about shifting how you connect to what occurred. There is a wide distinction. You can't heal what you won't confront, and confronting it doesn't equate to remaining mired in it. That's where so many individuals get caught up. They conflate recollection with reliving. But there's a Stoic dictum which asserts events are not harmful by themselves. It is our judgment of them that wounds us. Let that linger in your mind for a bit. The event occurred. It's done. But our judgment, our interpretation, that endures. That's the burden we bear. That's the true weight. So what if, rather than judging the past, we'll learn from it? What if we viewed it not as a wall but as a window? Something to look through, not something to block us. Because pain can be a great teacher if we allow it. Some of the best among us didn't shine because of a smooth history, but despite it, they utilized their failures as a ladder, transformed scars into stories, regret into resolve. Their past wasn't their prison, it was their training ground. But to do that, you need perspective. You need distance. You need to zoom out. Think of your life like a painting. Up close you see all the tiny flaws, the brush strokes, the smudges, the awkward edges. But step back and suddenly you see the whole picture. It's not perfect, but it's beautiful. And more importantly, it's yours. You're not your failures. You're not your worst moment. You're not the name you were given by someone all those years ago. You are the one who made it through it, who grew, who kept breathing. You are the one still becoming. And that means more than anything that ever went wrong. But how do you actually release? It's not a switch. It's not one huge moment. It's little choices done repeatedly. It's catching yourself when that recollection sneaks up on you and saying, not today. It's writing in a journal. It's confiding in a friend. It's therapy occasionally. It's forgiving yourself because you don't deserve to remember, but you do deserve peace. You can't move forward if your hands are still clutching the debris. And here's the twist: the majority of the time, the past isn't even the actual issue. It's the fear that it will recur. It's the fear that we haven't grown, that we're bound to repeat it all over again. But the reality is you have changed, even slightly. You're more aware today, more vigilant, and that knowledge is everything. It's the dawn of wisdom. It's the first gasp of freedom. You get to move on, even if they never said sorry, even if you were the guilty one, even if it still stings. Moving on does not mean forgetting. It means deciding what you will carry. It means choosing who you want to become today, not who you used to be. Balance is key here. Don't flee from the past, but don't let the past pursue you too. There's strength in being able to look at your life and say, yes, that happened. But it's not the end of my story. Be serious about your healing, but curious about your growth. Laugh when you can. Think when you need to. Some days you'll be strong, some days you'll feel like you're falling behind. That's okay. Progress isn't a straight line. It's a dance. It's a wave. We forget to be playful with life sometimes. We treat healing like a punishment, like we're serving time. But healing can also be joyful. It can be rediscovery. It can be the little spark that comes when you realize, I'm not who I used to be. And thank God for that. So if you're sitting here and carrying something heavy, something from years ago, or perhaps just last week, ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this serving the person I want to be? If it's not, let's try to loosen the hold. Just a little. Not because it didn't count, but because you're more important. We all get it wrong every now and then. That's human. What is important is what you do next with what you know now. You can begin again. You can rewrite your story. You can rebuild your self-trust. Step by step. One tiny little step at a time. You owe that to yourself. And perhaps most importantly, this truth: you are not alone. We all carry something. We all. The ones who shout. The ones who whisper. The ones who perpetually smile. The ones who look like they have it all under control. So let's be kind with one another and with ourselves. Let's quit pretending the past didn't define us and begin deciding how it will instead. And hey, if this post woke something up for you, if it made you stop and think or made you feel heard, I'd love to hear your voice. Leave a comment, offer a thought, share your story, your epiphany, even your struggle. You never know who is holding on by their fingernails, just waiting to hear it. Maybe someone else is stuck exactly where you once were, and your words are the lockpick that opens the door on their cage. So there you are, still watching, still listening, still wondering if it's ever possible to shed the burden you've been carrying. And you know what? That's already courage. That quiet determination to look inside, to think, to wonder. That's not weakness. That's growth. Actual gritty, honest growth. Because sometimes the toughest person to convince is yourself. See, the past tends to whisper. It sneaks up on you when you are not looking at 2 a.m. between songs, or when someone says something that makes you remember who you used to be. But just because it whispers doesn't mean you are required to listen. You get to decide whose voice gets the microphone in your head. Yours or the echo of what is behind you. There's a strong image I prefer to keep: picture moving forward, looking backward. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall behind. Life is in the present, not there. Not in the what ifs, not in the regrets. Now, this inhale, this step, this moment when you get to choose again who you want to be. Now let's get real. Letting go doesn't equal erasing. You'll never completely forget, but perhaps you aren't ever meant to. Perhaps the goal isn't forgetting, it's incorporation. Mastering walking with the memory without allowing the memory to dictate your path. That's emotional maturity. That's wisdom. It's not "I'm over it." It's "I'm learning to live with it and still move forward." You don't outrun the past by running from it. You outgrow it. And see, even trees grow in sections. You've noticed those rings within a tree trunk, each one a year's story. Some are big and healthy. Some are small, perhaps battered by a storm. But the tree continues to grow. And you are growing even when there's quiet. Even when it seems like nothing is happening. You are. Have faith. Philosophers in the Stoic school thought that we're not bothered by things themselves, but by what we tell ourselves about them. That's strong stuff. What occurred to you doesn't make you who you are, but what you say to yourself about what occurred. That determines your reality. Perhaps the change you require is within. Instead of saying "I failed," say "I learned." Instead of "They broke me," try "I'm healing." Instead of "I lost everything," try "I'm beginning again." That's not delusion. That's power. That's reclaiming the pen. Because you can still write this book. You can't control the opening chapters perhaps, but the others. Those are blank books waiting to happen. Full of fresh pages and open possibilities. And don't let anybody, not least your former self, dictate to you that you don't deserve it. It's simple to find yourself mired in the shoulds. I should be further along. I shouldn't have done that. I should have known better. But should is a liar. It only speaks in terms of shame. What you need is not judgment but curiosity. Ask instead, why did I do that? What was I needing at the time? What was I afraid of? And what do I know now that I didn't know then? That's the transition from judgment to curiosity. That's where healing starts. Because when you become curious, you quit beating yourself up and begin to understand yourself. And understanding, that's the road that leads to grace. And grace, that's where transformation takes root. Imagine all the individuals who granted themselves that mercy and imagine a better place, individuals who committed colossal errors, individuals who hit rock bottom, individuals who were written off. They weren't fortunate. They simply did not want to remain prisoners of their past. They learned. They matured. They rebuilt. And so can you. Now here's the flip side of this discussion. You can't simply wait to be ready to forgive yourself. Some days you won't. Some days it'll be like you're selling out your pain. But healing is an act of bravery, not ease. It's a revolution against getting stuck. And it's fine if it takes a while. Some things do. So let it take its time. But don't confuse slow with failing. You can laugh again, dream again, trust again. The world did not cease to give you good things simply because you experienced bad things. The light is still available, and more significantly, it's still within you. Balance that gravity with lightness. Allow yourself to be carefree at times. Play, discover, dance. You're not defined solely by the heavy stuff. You're also defined by the way you get up, the way you smile after you've cried, the way you extend your arms after you've closed down, the way you love once more after loss. That's where true beauty lies. We imagine healing as that serious, silent thing, but sometimes it's wild and full of laughter. It's remembering what makes you you under the layers of regret and pain. It's seeing the sunset and feeling thankful again. It's having coffee with a friend and giggling so hard you forget for an instant that you were ever broken. That's healing too. And maybe, just maybe, your past wasn't a mistake at all. Maybe it was a path. Maybe it was shaping you, sanding down your edges, preparing you, strengthening you. You don't have to believe that every bad thing should have happened, but you can believe that you still get to become something beautiful because of it. That's the attitude of a free individual. Someone who doesn't dwell in the shade of what didn't work, but walks in the light of what they've learned. It is not denial. It's transcendence. So if today is the day that you finally utter, "I'm done being stuck," then good. That's the beginning. Not the ending, but the beginning. You don't need to know everything. You simply need to take one step, then another, until you've constructed something so new, so vibrant that even your old scars don't know you anymore. And if no one has reminded you of this lately, you are not broken. You're becoming. You are permitted to evolve beyond the woman you used to be. You are permitted to be proud of how far you have come, even if you are not yet where you wish to be. You are permitted to forgive yourself even if the rest of the world doesn't get it. This is your life, your journey, your peace. So this is what I challenge you to do. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Tell me about your moment, the one you're still struggling to let go of, or the one that you did let go of. What assisted you? What deterred you? Let's discuss it. Let's create a place where healing is valued, not concealed. You have no idea who needs to hear your narrative. And perhaps, just possibly, that person is you. You're not a prisoner. You never were. You just needed the right key. And that key, it was never out there. It was always you.